we're gonna go ahead and officially get started. So our theme for today is basic human movement patterns. And there's, for the most part, we can group them into 7. So there's push, pull, squat, lunge, hinge, rotation, and gait, meaning like how you would walk or run. So we're gonna do the 7 basic human movement patterns today. And when you put together a workout, that's kind of a good way to remember what type of exercises to include is something from each one of those groups. Okay, so we're gonna start off with gait today. And you can either walk around in place. Okay, you can just walk in place, or if you want, you can walk around. I'm gonna start by marching in place. But when it comes to gait, it's hard to run or walk without actually doing it. So we're gonna do it in just a minute. But what we're gonna do is just add some quick direction changes. Okay, so what I want you to do is just start walking, whether or not you've got a big space or a small space. You're gonna walk, and when I say switch, you're gonna just quickly pivot. So if I'm walking this way and I say switch, then I would quickly pivot and go another direction. Okay, so here we go. Just start walking around, switch, 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 and just keep doing that. Just switch directions once you get to the edge of your room. Okay, now if you want, you can add a jog to it. So you can start jogging in place. Jogging is a little harder if you're short on space, but if you want, you can jog and switch directions quickly, depending on your space. So for those of you who have joined, we're doing 7 basic movement patterns, and we're starting with gait. Okay, walking, jogging, and we're gonna do some stepping over too. Okay, so come back in, either marching in place or jogging in place. So another human part of gait is stepping. So like if we're stepping over something. But what I want you to do is put your hands on your hips or keep your arms at your side and step over something and then step back. Okay, same foot. And what you're trying to do is keep your upper body vertical, so we're not bending over, you're not tilting your pelvis. We're gonna do a few more before we switch legs. Last one. Okay, let's do the other side. So a big step and step back. Oh, this side feels awkward to me. I think I'm dominant left-footed. And you might discover that too, that it feels more awkward to lead with one leg than the other. Let's do 3 more. Make sure as you step back and as you step forward that both feet get to the same height, like you don't want to trip over something. Okay, last one. Okay, so our next movement pattern is going to be lunge. Okay, so we're going to do a reverse lunge, but then I'm going to add on to it. So like you're bending over to pick something up. Okay, because that's when you would use that movement pattern in real life. Now go to the side, like you're trying to reach something, and just go multiple directions and do it differently. Maybe turn your body. So more unpredictable. I don't want you to do the exact same pattern every time, which is kind of hard. Let's do 2 more on this side, whichever direction you want to go. Okay, let's switch sides. So remember, unpredictable movements. Oh, maybe even cross over in front. Always be kind to your body. If you have a knee that says no thank you, then listen to it. And maybe play around with the distance too. Short lunges, long lunges. Let's do 2 more. Okay, next we're gonna do squats. So squats are another basic human movement pattern. And we're gonna try different leg widths as well. So let's start with like a shoulder width apart. And then you're gonna squat down as far as you possibly can, as long as it feels safe, and back up. So you might not get as far down as I go, that's fine. It really depends on your hip mobility and your ankle mobility and even your thoracic mobility, how far down you can get. Okay, so let's do a different type of squat. Bring feet in, narrow hip width apart. Let's do hands across shoulders. We can't go as far down now. Let's do 2 more squats like this. Okay, now a sumo squat. So take feet out really wide and turn your toes out a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna squat here. Up to you what you want to do with your hands. Let's do 3 more like this. All right, so our next movement pattern is a hinge. So hinge means from your hips, okay? That's where our hinge point is. So it's like a deadlift. So let's start there. Hips back, and then stand back up. So your knees just bend a little bit, just don't lock them out. Now we can complicate this more by adding some movement to it. So let's step to the left and hinge. So now it's almost like a lateral lunge with a hinge. Maybe you could call it a squat with a hinge too. Okay, so now we're going to combine a lunge and a hinge. So start in the center, left foot's going to go back into a lunge, and now hinge, come back up, step forward, lunge, hinge, back up. So you can combine lots of these basic movement patterns together to make it more complicated physically and mentally, because it can be a mental challenge. Let's do 1 more each leg. Okay, back up. All right, now rotation is our next one. Oh, we're running out of time, I gotta hurry up. So we're gonna step left and then rotate back to the center. So again, we can use stepping in any direction and layer on another basic movement pattern. Okay, let's go the other way. I think the hardest basic movement pattern to get without equipment is the pull. Okay, last one. Okay, so the pull we're gonna try in a plank position. So for this one, knees or toes, it's up to you. And the pull is, if you pull your elbows down, then we rock forward and back. So let's do a few more like this. Okay, now we've got our push, which the most basic push is going to be a push-up. So you can either do it against a wall or on the floor. So just do like 5 to 10 basic push-ups. They don't have to be hard. come back up. So we've done all 7 basic movement patterns. So to review, we did gait, which was walking, stepping, running. We did pull, so we did those drags. You could even do it on the wall, you just try and drag down. We did push for push-ups, we did squats, we did lunges, we did hinges, we combined them. And then we did the rotation. So you can combine rotation with lots of stuff too. All right, we are out of time. Thanks for joining today. Have a great day.